Hello everyone, myself Ankur Patel, and today we are going to learn projection of planes. So in this first session of projection of planes, we will discuss the basic concepts of projection of planes, and we will also discuss problems of projection of planes. So let's start. So projection of planes, let us discuss first of all what are projections. So projection means to draw the front view and the top view and the side view of the given object on the particular reference planes. So let us discuss what are planes or what is a plane. So a plane is a flat surface with no thickness. Our world has 3 dimensions, but there are only 2 dimensions on a plane. That is the length and width of the plane. So in this topic of projection of planes, the various plane figures are the object like square, rectangle, triangle, circle, rhombus, pentagon, hexagon and ellipse. So in this topic we have to draw the plan, elevation and the side view of these given planes. So what is usually asked in the problems of projection of planes? So it is asked to draw the projections, means to draw the front view, top view and the side view of the planes. And what will be given in the problem? So the description of the plane figure will be given and its position with HP and VP will be given, and in which manner its position with HP and VP will be described. So the inclination of its surface with one of the reference plane will be given, and inclination of one of its edges with other reference plane will be given. That means if the surface of the plane is inclined to the horizontal plane, then its edge will be inclined to the vertical plane, and if the surface is inclined to the vertical plane, then its edge is given inclined to the horizontal plane. Hence this will be a case of an object inclined to both the reference plane, and here the object is our plane. So if the plane is inclined to both the reference plane, inclined to HP and inclined to VP both, then the problems of planes will be solved in 3 different stages. Now let us study the illustration showing the surface and the side inclination given on the next page. So here we have taken a case of the rectangle whose surface is inclined to the horizontal plane, and one of the shorter edge of the rectangle is inclined to the vertical plane. So observe all the stages and note the steps. So in the first stage we will take the surface of the rectangle parallel to the horizontal plane, because if the surface is given inclined to the horizontal plane, in the first stage we have to assume the surface of the rectangle parallel to the horizontal plane, and then after in the second stage we will incline the surface to the horizontal plane, and in the third stage we will take one of the side inclined to the vertical plane. So let us see the pictorial presentation of all these 3 cases. So in the first stage we have to assume the surface of the rectangle parallel to the horizontal plane and perpendicular to the vertical plane. In the second stage we have to incline the surface of the rectangle to the horizontal plane at an angle theta. Right now the surface of the rectangle is inclined to the horizontal plane and it is perpendicular to the vertical plane. And in the last stage we have to incline this shorter edge at an angle of phi to the vertical plane. So here we will incline the shorter edge to the vertical plane. So the figure will look like this. Now we have to draw the front view and the top view of the rectangle in all these 3 stages. So in the first stage, if we want to draw the front view observing from this direction, we have to project all this corner of the rectangle perpendicular to the vertical plane. So here we will get the elevation of the rectangle and it will be a line. And if we want to draw the top view of this rectangle, we have to take the projection perpendicular to the horizontal plane from all the corners. So here we will get the top view, and right now the top view is of the true shape. Now in the second stage, if we want to draw the front view, we have to project all the corners on the vertical plane. So we will get the front view, and right now the front view is a line which is inclined at an angle of theta to the horizontal plane. So this will be a front view, and if you want to draw the top view of this plane, we have to project all these corners on the horizontal plane. So by projecting all the corners on the horizontal plane, we will get the top view as a rectangle, but right now this rectangle is of the reduced shape. Now if you want to draw the front view and top view in the last stage, again we have to project all the corners on the vertical plane. We will get the front view over here, and right now you can see that now the front view is a parallelogram. And if you want to draw the top view, we have to project all the corners on the horizontal plane. So right now you can see that the top view is a rectangle, and this rectangle is of the same shape that we have the top view in the second stage. Now let us discuss the orthographic pattern in all these three stages. So if you want to show the orthographic views of these objects, then we have to rotate horizontal plane 90 degree in the clockwise direction. So after rotating the horizontal plane in the 90 degree clockwise direction, we will get the front view like this, and top view will be projected like this. This is horizontal plane and this is the vertical plane. And as we have discussed that the top view will be of true shape and front view will be a line parallel to the XY reference line. Now to draw the front view and top view in the second stage, this will be a front view which is inclined at an angle of theta to the XY reference line, and this will be our top view which is of the reduced shape. So the front view is inclined to XY reference line, and top view will be a rectangle of reduced shape, and right now the length of this line will be equal to this line. So we have inclined this line, then after we have projected the end points of the lines, and we have projected these corners from the first stage. So here we will get the top view in the second stage. Now third stage. So in the third stage, now we have to incline one of the shorter edge at an angle of phi to the vertical plane. So this shape will be inclined like this, and now projecting all the corners on the vertical plane and projecting the ends of this line like this, we will get the front view in the last stage. So here the front view will be the apparent shape and top view will be the previous shape. Right now this top view is of the same shape that we have got in the second stage, or that we have got in the top view of the second stage. So this figure and this figure will remain same. Now let us discuss the procedure to solve the problems in projectional planes. So as shown in the previous illustration, each problem of projectional planes are solved in three stages. So in the first stage, we have to assume suitable condition and we have to draw the front view and top view in the initial stage. Then after, in the second stage, we have to consider the surface inclination of the plane, and then after we have to draw the front view and top view in the second stage. And in the third stage, after considering or after inclining the surface to the given reference plane, we have to consider the side edge inclination and we have to draw the top view and front view in the third stage. Now let us discuss the first stage. How can we derive the first stage? So in the first stage, first of all, we have to find out the resting condition or condition of the surface inclination of the plane with the given reference planes from the given problem. And then after, we have to assume the suitable condition and we have to draw the front view and top view in the first stage. Now what will be the suitable condition? Now what we have to assume in the to draw the front view and top view in the first stage. So if in the problem of if plane is resting on HP, or if the surface of the plane is inclined to HP, then in the first stage we have to assume the surface of the plane parallel to the horizontal plane. And if the plane is resting on VP, or the surface of the plane is inclined to VP, then in the first stage we have to assume the surface parallel to the vertical plane. So now if the surface is assumed parallel to the horizontal plane, its top view will show the true shape, and if the surface is assumed to the vertical plane, its front view will show the true shape in the first stage. So hence begin with drawing top view and front view as true shape in the initial stage. Now while drawing this true shape, if the plane is resting on side or edge, keep the side or edge perpendicular to the XY reference line and on the left hand side of the drawing. And if the plane is resting on corner, keep the corner on the left hand side of the drawing. So let us see the illustration of the figure. So we have taken the case resting on HP or surface of the plane inclined to the HP. So in the first stage we have to assume the we have assumed the pentagon parallel to the horizontal plane, and we have drawn the true shape on the horizontal plane or below the XY reference line, and we have to take the side or edge perpendicular to the XY reference line or on the left hand side of the drawing. And if the plane is resting on corner on horizontal plane, then we have to take the surface parallel to the horizontal plane in the first stage, and we have to take the corner on the left hand side of the drawing. Now after deriving the first stage by these given conditions, how can we derive the second stage and third stage of the planes? So if in the first stage if the plane is resting on HP, then the second stage we have to derive the condition of the plane given with the horizontal plane, that is surface inclined to HP, or sometimes it is also given that plan is seen as a blanks. And then after in the third stage we have to derive the condition of the plane given with the vertical plane, that is the side edge of the plane inclined to the vertical plane. And if the plane is resting on vertical plane, in the second stage we have to derive the condition of the plane with the vertical plane, that is surface inclined to the vertical plane, or sometimes it is also given that elevation is seen as a blanks. And then after in the third stage we have to derive the inclination with the horizontal plane, that is side edge of the plane inclined to the horizontal plane. And if you want to understand the stage 3 and stage 4 of projection of planes, then refer figure B and C on the slide 4, in which we have taken the case of the rectangle. Now let's try to solve the problems of projection of planes by using all this data regarding the first stage, second stage and third stage. So let's try to solve the first problem. A square plate side 30 mm is resting on HP. Here the plane is resting on horizontal plane with one side of the plate inclined to vertical plane by 30 degree. Draw the projections. So right now in the first stage we have to assume the plane parallel to the horizontal plane with one of the side inclined to the vertical plane, because the surface inclination is not given. So first of all draw XY reference line, and we are going to consider, or we are going to draw the projection of the planes by using the first angle projection method. So if we are using the first angle projection method, then the plan of the plane will be below the XY reference line, or elevation of the plane will be on the XY reference line or above the XY reference line. So in each and every problem of projection of plane we will use first angle projection method. So let's try to draw the plan of the square plate having side line 30 mm, and one of the side is inclined at an angle of 35 degree to the vertical plane. So first of all draw a line inclined at an angle of 35 degree, which shows the angle of inclination with the vertical plane. Now on this line we have to take one side of the square plate. So take one side of the square plate on this line and draw a square having side line 30 mm. So this will be our corner A, B, C and D. Now if you want to draw the elevation, we have to project all the corners up to XY reference line. This will be A dash, this will be B dash, this will be C dash, and this will be our D dash. Now connect all these points. This will be a line. Right now the elevation is a line because we have assumed a plane parallel to the horizontal plane and perpendicular to the vertical plane, and if the plane is perpendicular to the vertical plane, then elevation will be a line. And in this problem we have only one stage because the surface inclination of the plane with the horizontal plane is not given. Now let's move on to next example. A square lamina of side 35 mm is resting on HP on one of its side, such that the surface of the lamina is inclined at 40 degree to HP. Draw its top view and front view when the side on which it rests is parallel to VP. So here we will solve this problem in 3 stages because the condition with HP and VP both are given. Now the surface is inclined to the horizontal plane. So if you want to draw the first stage, we have to assume the plane parallel to the horizontal plane, or we have to assume the surface of the square lamina parallel to the horizontal plane. So if we assume the surface of the lamina parallel to the horizontal plane, we will get the true shape of the square in the top view. So draw the square in the top view showing the true shape having side line 35 mm, and we have to take one of the side on the left hand side of the drawing, and it should be perpendicular to the XY reference line. So this is A, B, C, D. So right now AB and CD are perpendicular to the XY reference line, and AD and BC are parallel to the XY reference line. Now project all the corners on the XY reference line. We will get the elevation of A, B and CD. So this is A dash, B dash, C dash, D dash, which are the elevation of A, B and CD. Now connect these points, we will get the elevation. And right now the elevation is a line because we have assumed a plane parallel to HP, and it will be perpendicular to the vertical plane. And we can say that the plane will rest on side AB on HP, because further we have discussed that if it is resting on HP on side, we have to take that side on the left hand side of the drawing. So here we have taken AB side on the left hand side. So right now the plane will rest on side AB on HP. Now we have to derive the second stage. So in the second stage, we will take the surface inclination to the horizontal plane, or we will take the condition with the horizontal plane. So here it is given that surface of the lamina is inclined at 40 degree to the horizontal plane, and if we want to show the surface inclined at an angle of 40 degree, we have to incline this elevation at an angle of 40 degree to the XY reference line by taking A dash, B dash on XY reference line. So now incline this line at an angle of 40 degree. So surface inclined to HP at 40 degree. So we have to incline this line at an angle of 40 degree to the XY reference line by taking A dash, B dash on XY reference line, because we can say that if any side is on HP, then the elevation of that side will be on the XY reference line. And here we have to show one of the side on the horizontal plane. So right now we have taken AB on the horizontal plane. So the elevation of that edge will remain on the XY reference line. Now if we want to draw the elevation of the square plate, we have to project these points vertically downwards, and from A, B, C, D we have to draw the projection, or we have to take the projection on the right hand side. So here we will get A1, here we will get B1, here we will get C1, and here we will get D1. Connect these two 4 points, A1, B1, C1, D1 will be the top view of the square plate. Now we have to derive the third stage, and we will take the condition of the square lamina to the vertical plane. So right now it is given that draw its top view and front view when the side on which it rests is parallel to VP. Now right now, as we have discussed that it is resting on side AB on HP. So now we have to incline this A1 B1, or we have to take this A1 B1 parallel to the XY reference line if we want to show this side parallel to the vertical plane. Then we have to take A1 B1 parallel to the XY reference line, and by taking A1 B1 parallel to the XY reference line, we have to redraw this figure over here. So draw this figure over here by taking A1 B1 parallel to the XY reference line. This will be our top view again, because we have copied this figure over here. Just we have taken A1 B1 parallel to the XY reference line. Now project all these points upwards, A1, B1, C1 and D1, and project these points right hand side. So this will be our A1 dash, this will be our B1 dash, this will be our C1 dash, and this will be our D1 dash. Join all these corners, we will get the front view of the square lamina in the last stage. So this will be our final front view, or final top view and front view. Now let's move on to next example. A thin rectangular plate of 16 to 30 mm has its shorter side in the vertical plane and inclined at 30 degree to the horizontal plane. That means the shorter side is inclined at an angle of 30 degree to the horizontal plane. Project its top view if its front view is a square of 30 mm side. Now here the condition with the vertical plane is given indirectly in form of the front view is seen as a square of 30 mm side. So this will be our condition with the vertical plane. Now let's try to solve this example. Now here we have to take the shorter side in the vertical plane. So in the first stage we have to assume the surface of the rectangular plane parallel to the vertical plane. So we will get the true shape of the rectangle on the vertical plane. So draw a rectangle above the XY reference line by taking shorter side on the left hand side, rectangle side 30 mm, shorter side 30 mm and longer side 60 mm. So this is A dash, B dash, C dash, D dash, and we have taken the shorter side on the left hand side because it is going to be raised on the vertical plane on this side. Now take the projections downwards A, B, C and D. Here we will get A, B and C, D. This will be our plan, and right now the plan is a line because we have assumed that the surface of the rectangle parallel to the vertical plane, it will remain perpendicular to the horizontal plane, and if the plane is perpendicular to the horizontal plane, the plan will be a line. Now we have to derive the second stage, and in the second stage we have to derive the condition with the vertical plane because in the first stage we have assumed that the surface parallel to the vertical plane. So now the indirect condition with the vertical plane is given over here. Its front view is a square of 30 mm side. So in the second stage we have to take the front view is a square of 30 mm side, or we have to draw a square having side length 30 mm in the front view. So for that, project these edges, and right now you can see that this length is 30 mm. So draw a square by using this edge of 30 mm side. So you will get the square having side length 30 mm. This is A1 dash, B1 dash, C1 dash, D1 dash, and it will be our front view. Now we have to show the top view. So to show the top view, project these points downwards. So here exactly we will get AB, and to mark CD, measure this length AB to CD, put your ruler on AB and give an arc on this line. You will get a line ABCD, incline at an angle of phi to the vertical plane, and if you want to measure this angle, then measure it by using the protractor and write it. Now we have to derive the third stage, and in the third stage now we will derive the condition with the horizontal plane, and here it is given that a shorter side is in the vertical plane and inclined at 30 degree to HV. That means the shorter side is inclined at an angle of 30 degree to the horizontal plane. So now what will be a shorter side? It is A dash, B dash, A1 dash, B1 dash. So now take A1 dash, B1 dash, incline at an angle of 30 degree, and redraw this figure, or redraw the front view over here by taking A1 dash, B1 dash, incline at an angle of 30 degree. So redraw this figure over here by taking A1 dash, B1 dash, incline at an angle of 30 degree. So this will be A1 dash, B1 dash, C1 dash and D1 dash. We have to give the numbering in the anti-clockwise direction starting from here. Now this will be our front view again, but incline at an angle of 30 degree. Now project these points downwards, but before projecting this point downwards, first of all project these points AB, CD to draw the plan in the last stage. This project these points downwards, A1 dash over here, here we will get A1, B1 dash over here, so this will be B1, C1 dash over here, this will be our C1, and D1 dash downwards, here we will get D1. Connect these points and we will get the top view in the last stage, and it will be a parallelogram. So this is it for today. Thank you for watching. We will come with some more problems of projection of planes in our next lecture. Till then, take care.